So, I got a question um, from somebody who is fairly new to the lifestyle, and as she said, sex in general. Um, and she and her dom apparently uh, they're not in the same place, more probably a little long distance thing going. And she wants to go to play parties and things like that, but doesn't know how to do it. She says she's been to a munch, and the thing about it is, when it comes to play parties, if you're in a big city, or there's a good chance that there are play clubs around. But if you're not in a big city, which I don't know much about her location, uh, there's not going to be a lot of play clubs. What you will find are more private events. And the only way you're going to get invited to those private events is by meeting the people who are part of the local community. She says that she's been to a munch. Well, the problem is if you've just been to a munch, no one knows you. No one knows who you are. No one knows anything about you. No one has any concept about what it is that you are, what you're into, anything. You know, you have to keep going. You have to keep looking and talking. And eventually, somebody will say, hey, so and so's having a party at their house. Do you want to go? There's your answer. Private parties are something that happen all the time. Okay? Private parties. Here, let me move this down a bit so you can see me a little better. There. Private parties are something that happens all the time. And the only thing you need to do, like I said, is just show up to the munches, talk to people, hang out with people, and the more people get to know you, the more they're going to feel comfortable with you. Because you got to keep in mind, we don't know who you are. Okay? Yeah, you might be 18, you might be 50. We still don't know who you are. We don't trust you. And if somebody's having a private house party, they need to know they can trust you. They need to know that if you go into their house, that suddenly the cops aren't going to show up. That suddenly something horrible is not going to happen. These are their private residences that they are opening up for an event. I live in Utah. Utah does not allow clubs, especially permanent clubs. There's been a few pop up clubs, and for one night or something like that. And the only clubs that are more permanent are at people's houses. The three that I know about, the one I played at, the one I've been to for a class, and the one I don't know if I don't think I'm going this weekend, but I'm hopefully next month I might be able to go. They are at somebody's private home. Most of them require you have a sponsor, somebody who will claim responsibility for you. The club that's here where I live is also held at somebody's house, and the only way you can get into that party is if the organization that's just running the event has met you several times at a munch. You cannot just go. Okay? There's very rare that you will find that a club will just allow anybody in. You have to go and just show up to munches, be on your best behavior, talk, Do not be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to, to bring up what's going on with your relationships. The more you do that, the more people will feel they can trust you. The more they will be willing to invite you to events. But if you don't do that, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. Play clubs, play parties are something that are a very insular community. They are only usually for people that know each other and trust each other. Because you got to keep in mind what happens at a party. You have people who are naked, you have people who are being played with, there are people who are having sex. Not all the time, not at every club. Some clubs do, some clubs don't. It depends on the club. Every club has its own rules. Every play party has its own rules. And you just have to know what those are. And that's something that either they're going to do an orientation or something your sponsor is going to tell you. And if you don't know these things, you're never going to get invited. And if you go there and you make an ass of yourself, you're going to never get invited back. There are constantly, I hear about stories, not only in the local community, but from other places where somebody came in, did something they weren't supposed to, and then were banned from going to the club. And the thing is, you have to keep in mind, one thing that happens with clubs, they talk to each other. This is a very small community. Clubs, the owners of one club know the owners of every single other club. Okay, every single club or organization knows the people who are running every single other club and every single other organization in your area. So if you show up and act like an idiot, you will be banned from everything. So here's the, like I said, the simplest thing you can do. Just keep showing up to munches. Don't be like, oh, is there a party? Is there a party? There's a party. They're gonna go, no, 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 no. Just show up, go have fun, enjoy something to drink, enjoy some food, enjoy some company. I'm going to a munch Friday. I'm going to a munch Sunday, and then um, I have another munch on Monday. This is, the more I go, the more people will get to know me. The more people will get to because I'm relatively new to the community up here because I basically haven't been going out. I've been trying to force myself to go out. And now I'm actually getting involved with the clubs and the organizations that are around here. I'm going to be doing a demo, just a very small part of a demo, on the 27th, some cupping demo. Um, but the thing about it is that going to things like the local organization here is having a movie night. I'm looking at a calendar right over here. Um, they're going to have a movie night. They had a gaming night earlier in the month. The thing is that the more stuff you can go to, the more things you can show up at, the more they're going to get to know you, the more likely it is they're going to want to invite you to an event. And especially if it's somebody's private house, they need to know they can trust you. Because if they can't trust you, you're never going to get invited. But that's kind of it. If anybody has any questions for me, hit me up on FET. That's it for now. Be well and safe.